A trend line is a straight line connecting two or more swing highs in a downtrend or two or more swing lows in an uptrend. The theory is simple. Price respects the line, bounces from it, and breaks it to signal a reversal. So simple that millions of traders use it every day. Simple enough that most of them are probably losing money. Here is why. To draw a trend line on an uptrend, you need higher highs and higher lows. Think about what that means. Before you can draw that line, the market has made at least two higher lows. You are not predicting anything. You are documenting something that has already happened. Then you extend the line forward and you wait for price to touch it. And this is where it falls apart completely. Any 2 points on a chart will produce a straight line, but a third touch at any angle, any slope, any time frame only tells you that the line was drawn correctly, not that it will hold. There is no formula behind any of this. No calculation, no objective input that produces an objective output. Just a ruler, 2 points on a chart, and a hope that the market notices your line. Nobody else's, just yours. And if the math is this thin, wait until you see what happens when 10 traders look at the same chart. Show 10 traders the same chart and ask them to draw a trend line. You'll get many different lines. Do you draw through the wicks or the candle bodies? Do you use the closing prices or intraday high and lows? Do you anchor from the most recent swing high or the most significant one? There is no formula, no calculation, and there's no objective answer. Even the online tutorials disagree. Some say 2 touches is enough. Others say you need 3. Others say the spacing between touches matters. Others say the angle matters. One of the most popular courses I found on YouTube with 5 million views openly tells its students to treat trend lines like an area, not a line. Do not force them if they don't fit, and to always wait for additional confirmation before entering a trade. Listen to that back again slowly. They are telling you not to trust the very thing they've spent 30 minutes teaching you. But here is what really exposes trend lines for what they are. To the charts. SOMI USDT. Every touch lines up. Seems like a reasonable trend line. Tries to go above it, tries to retest it, but fails. But now let's go back in time a little bit when the line was actually forming. So far we don't know anything. We have 2 touches. We kind of have 3, but it's slightly beneath us, so we might adjust that down a bit. Yeah, we're not sure, so look at this now, it's moving up here. You have to move it 3 or 4 times to make this work. And that is the hindsight trap. Trend lines are the most flexible tool in technical analysis because you can shift them, angle them, and anchor them anywhere until they fit the story you want to tell. You're not reading the market. You are writing a story about it after the fact. A newsflash. The market doesn't care about your story. Next one. BTC USDT. Here is a setup every trendline trader has lived through. Clear uptrend, lovely trend lines, along the high and along the low. Pulls back perfectly to this low and you think, great, I'm going to go in. So you set up a long position. You take profit somewhere up here near the top of that trend line. Your stop loss, say down there, say 3% down there. And you go in. And you stopped out. And it keeps going down. You just got played. That's not bad luck. That's the market doing exactly what it always does, hunting for liquidity. Institutional traders know exactly how retail traders work, so they can have a pretty good idea where you're putting your stop losses. And when you understand why that failed in the first place, everything changes. Back to SOMI USDT first. Here's the thing that nobody explains about trendline pullbacks. Every higher low in an uptrend happens for a reason. Price does not bounce off a diagonal line drawn by a trader. Price bounces because institutional orders are sitting at specific levels, inside a fair value gap or an order block, left behind by the previous move. Don't believe me? Goes up, comes back down here, goes up, comes back down here. Why did it come to this one? Put on fair value gaps. Pick your poison. Order blocks, fair value gaps, double confluences. Fair value gap. Came back down to an order block on the second one. Here. Bouncing up and bouncing back down to institutional levels. Absolutely bugger all to do with a diagonal line. Now back to BTC. Why did this fail? Oh, look at that. That's where we went in, right? Right at the bearish breaker block. institutional levels. They took that price up after that bounce there, in to get that liquidity, took it down and stopped you out. A trendline trader sees the bounce and thinks confirmation. What actually happened is institutional orders were getting filled and then they took the price down. The line described the effect. It could never explain the cause. So trendlines aren't useless, are they? They're a reasonable description of price behavior in hindsight. The problem is that retail traders use them as a prediction. They are late by design, requiring the move to already exist before you can even draw them. They are subjective by nature. No two traders will place them identically, and they are exploitable by institutions who know exactly where retail stocks are sitting beneath them. And the pullbacks that make them look valid are not caused by the line at all. Something far more structured is happening underneath. So if a trend line connects the dots, with impulse flow, we explain why the dots exist. Every high or low that makes a trend line look valid is price returning to an institutional order zone, fair value gap, order block, where smart money placed its orders before the next leg higher. Retail draws a line through the result. Pulse flow trades the cause. If this has changed your mind a little bit about trend lines, would you please subscribe, like and share? I do a new video every week. You can watch one of my other videos down here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.